Your chair's on my chair.
No, your chair's on my chair.
Yeah, press start. It's not started.
What's not?
Start, yeah.
You press live, go live.
You always try some best.
It's not on you.
It's not on you.
You're gonna regret that. You're gonna regret that one. Managerial.
What's the deal here, Shawnee?
Is it 10 past on the... Yes. Yeah, it's done.
We're actually 10 seconds behind. It's over. We're 10 seconds behind. We're 30 minutes and 10 seconds behind. Are we good, Shawnee? Oh shit, we're hot.
Welcome back. We got game 4 right now. We've got WA girls against New South Wales girls. WA have had about half an hour of warm-up time. And New South Wales
Has 100 minutes of warm-up time.
they've just come from a game against Victoria. An interesting game. Give us the info on it, Victor.
Oh well. Victoria came out really strong. Took a 9-5 lead.
9-5, you say?
9-5. Heard the hooter and decided we'll give them 5 on the trot.
Wait, so what you're telling me is that Victoria was up by 5 points.
By 4
Time cap
points.
went by 4 points. Time cap went, finished the point, add 1. They were up by 5, and New South Wales then came back and scored 5 in a row and won.
That's what the rumour mill is telling us right now.
That is interesting.
This has thrown a spanner in the works in the seedings. New South Wales has kept on first seed.
So
They've got a
that's-
100-minute warm-up now.
That's interesting. So New South Wales just had an awesome game, come back, beat Victoria, and now they've had to run from the fields, come here, no time, game on straight away, playing against WA. Now, WA have had a little bit of an upset warm-up because they did their full warm-up expecting game on to be starting 20 minutes ago. But because they had to wait for New South Wales, they've now done an extended warm-up. And, you know, had a chat through and they had to wait and all this kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see who starts this game off well. WA pulling the disc now. New South Wales got offensive point coming downwind.
Nice roll out the side. And we've got Latamatis running to the disc, but that disc is gone. That's in a different area code now, that disc.
So Latamatis, obviously, for those of you who've been around the shop a bit, might know Latto, who plays for, obviously, her brother, who plays for Colony, Alex Latto. She has been around for a little bit. Obviously, Frisbee, it's a bit of a close community. You get your brothers and sisters into it. So she has got training from one of the best in the country, Alex Latto. So we'll see how she does.
Swings it to Lee. Lee surveys the field.
No, that's
She's in
Chung.
a bit of trouble.
That's Eunice. That's Eunice Chung there, by the way. So Eunice just puts it out, hucks it long to Holly Reeve, who's got a fair bit of pace on her, quite tall. Goes out of bounds, but there
Seems
was
to be a call.
Seems to be a call. I think it's on the throw. There might have been a foul on the throw, so New South Wales hold on to the disc.
Uncontested foul call. Back on 0.
So Eunice puts it to Snips, Rachel past Snips, and she just drops it. She gets one hand on it, but just couldn't control it. So WA got the disc.
Centers it to Kale. Looking for that break side early.
Oh, and Rachel Parsons, that was amazing. Just read the disc, just stuck the hand out. Stuck the hand out, and that's a double happiness. Got the turn, and then the disc goes up to her out in front, gives her a chance to use her speed, and she just runs onto one nice one in the end zone.
Very nice put there out in front as well. Really, defense had no chance.
As you can see, have a look at this D by Rachel Parsons. She just sees that, looks at the head turn. Head turns now. Rachel goes, yep, go, bang. Look at that. That's a really head-on swivel defense. And then she just busts deep. And that throw is just in a perfect place. It has a nice float on it, so she can just run out and use her long legs to chase that down.
Textbook offense.
So quick score there from New South Wales to put them in the lead, 1-0.
So on offense, we got Lipscomb, Carpenter, Webb, Lim, Ziegler, Turkleton, and who's number 7 there? Code. Apologies for any mispronunciations, but
We've definitely mispronounced some of them.
almost certainly.
But either way, we're trying our best. Obviously, we haven't seen many of the WA girls. I've seen a few of them travelling through, but it's always good, always welcome. WA, Queensland, any of the people who are far away. I know it's expensive to come to tournaments.
It's quite a trip.
It is quite a trip, and obviously, I was talking to Max Squire from WA earlier. She said it was 37 in Perth yesterday, and so they've come from 37 degrees to a cool, brisk 18 in Geelong today. So it's a little bit of a climate difference there, but they've adjusted to it pretty well. They're playing good frisbee. So WA's got the disc there.
Great work through the middle, and then
Working it through the middle.
overthrows, but great
Good awareness to
there.
just pick that up. So Lipscomb with the disc. High stall count. She's struggling and just chucks it out long into the end zone.
Perfect.
That was a get out of jail free there, but
Just like they drew up, probably.
get out of jail free, throw it into the end zone.
The
As
high
long as
stall count end zone play.
That's it. Everyone's got one. Straight to Alicia Lim in the end zone. Yeah. Whenever you've got a high stall count, you look at your jump, look at your jump. If you get to 7, 8, 9, just put it into the end zone.
Put it.
But it was really good. It was actually a really good throw by Lipscomb to actually put a bit of float on it, so that
Sad. Gave her some chance to get there.
it gives defenders, because defenders weren't the receivers weren't looking for that option. But if you put enough float on it, you give your receivers time to chase it down, and look what happened. Got the score. So that levels it up. 1-1.
Offensive holds.
Yeah, offensive holds. It's same as last game. There hasn't been many scores left to right. Most of the scores have been right to left, as the wind is sort of cross field. And it's a bit easier. It seems to be sort of cross field, but also drifting from the right to the left a little bit. So there is really one strong side. And if anyone can get an upwinder, obviously they're doing pretty well. Normally there's only 1 or 2 scored per game. So both teams trading at the moment. We'll see who gets the first break.
Once again, we see the difference in the knee, full team knee, versus the 7 on the line. There's been a few of that. New South Wales decides to have the knee while the New South Wales men's team doesn't.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Different coaching styles, obviously trying to get their players up and about, and other coaches opting for the sort of let your own players jack themselves up however they like, or get themselves revved up as much as they like. So it's interesting. Good to see different styles. So Maxi Kwa throwing a nice big roller pull.
They're rolling very well, these ones.
Stopped in the middle of the field.
The boys can learn something from this.
That's it. New South Wales girls getting it moving nice and early. Rachel Parsons with the disc. Floats it out for the swing.
And another nice
Hunts it
float.
up. Oh, it was almost out there.
I guess we might have to see that on the replay, whether or not that was a line toe. Oh, and a great grab over Rachel Parsons.
Huge jump there. That was fantastic. Phoebe Cahill just got up huge.
Very patient offense here by WA.
Phoebe Cahill.
Once again, the curse is struck again.
Phoebe Cahill to Kirsten Chicker just pulls the trigger on that, and it just goes flying out the back of the end zone. A little bit too much Wheat Bix for breakfast she had.
Too many Wheaties.
Her guns are too big at the moment.
Both teams seem to be working it up quite well. They're just working it. It's just a couple of lapses in concentration with this towards the end zone.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many long hucks this game. Obviously, it's still early on, but we saw in the last game of South Australia against Queensland, there was some points where they were just hucking. It was like 6, 7, 8 turnovers. So it's good to see a little bit more patience by these two teams.
Unlucky.
Chica got a hand on that, but
And they're away here.
New South Wales just managed to hold on to that.
With a nice inside throw.
O'Connor to Deborah Lee. And then Phoebe Cahill just got another D. She's playing huge at the moment. That's 2 Ds so far this point.
Claw dishes it off to Kale. Kale just throws it.
And a run through there. Ooh.
A perfectly positioned van, water-carrying vehicle.
Water-carrying van has just pulled up right in front of the commentary box. So we've actually a little bit... our vision is a little bit skewed, but it's good to see that the volunteers are working hard here at Geelong. Really good crew here. Founded by... being organised by GFUSH, which is the Geelong Ultimate Frisbee Club. Making sure that everyone's got water, making sure that everyone's got sunscreen. Really nice facility here. So far, it's all good. We've been looking after us commentary box with free apples, free bananas. We don't have any chocolate at the moment, but...
I think we're working on... There's a rumour going around that we're working on that chocolate situation.
Supposedly, someone has done a supermarket run to get us some chocolate, so that's exciting. So New South Wales punted into the end zone, went a little bit too far. So another turnover. Max Qua for WA just walking up to the front of the end zone line to keep the play going. WA setting up in a horizontal stack, which seems to be working for them. They're opening up the field a fair bit. Oh,
but a great D by O'Connor. Just gets over the top.
Is that O'Connor? You got that D? I think it was. Madison O'Connor, yeah, really nice D. She just read the disc up in the air quite well. Didn't have to do much. She was just in the right position. So Emma Hayes with the disc, dumps it back to Rachel Parsons. Oh, just over the top.
Sutton with
Daniel
a
Sutton
bid.
just couldn't get to it.
They're really dying. They're really going for that bigger round with the wind. It's just catching a lip and just falling straight down. It's been happening all day.
Yep. Chica looking deep, puts it up. But
Parsons
was just all over it. So
that was a call, but retracted.
It looked like there was a foul call on the throw, but it ended up being retracted. She said it didn't cause her to, or didn't affect the throw enough to warrant a call. Swing to Daniel Sutton, and Daniel Sutton puts it long.
Very nice put there. Ruiz.
Ruiz was...
The Jets.
What happened with that? She got there.
She outran the disc.
She was running too fast and she had to reach back behind her to actually grab it and threw herself off balance. Whatever high-octane fuel she's been eating, she needs to go down. She might be on... It looks like she's on 98. She needs to go down to 95 just to slow down a little bit. That was amazing.
WA with another chance. They're really working this upline game. Almost every upline has been on, and they've been hitting it perfectly as well.
Yeah, they've had issues with the swing, as you just saw there. Maxi Qua just tries to swing it around to Yuln.
And after all that, it's just an offensive hold. It's good work by the WA defense.
Yeah, they've got to take confidence in that. Obviously, they got a fair few turns. They worked it up. They got it to the end zone line a couple of times. Unfortunately, they couldn't punch it in, but as a defensive line, that's what you got to...
You only need one break to win the game.
Exactly. So
You just need offense to do their end of the job.
see here, New South Wales, pretty easy. Pick up the disc very quickly. First throw, bang. That's what you want to do. Daniel Sutton, obviously, very experienced. Played a fair bit before, so she knew pick up the disc and get it moving straight away before the defense can set. So nice work by New South Wales.
So WA coming back out on offense, trying to level it back up at 2s. They've been moving it quite well. It's really when they've been forced into those big swings, both teams, when they've been forced into those big around swings, into the wind or with the wind, they've struggled more with that.
Yeah, I think both teams look at the moment, they've got an interesting setup. So WA's opting to go horizontal, New South Wales opting to go vertical stack. They've been moving the disc downfield quite well, but yeah, when they get held up, they've both struggled getting the dump and getting the swing option. I think the wind is just upsetting them a little bit. It is gusting a little bit. It's pretty steady, but because it's not coming directly down the field or directly across the field, it's sort of on a bit of an angle. It throws your flow, it throws your angles of your throws off. So you really have to be careful of that because, as you said before, if you put the wrong angle on it, it's just going to die. New South Wales, good pull, but out of bounds, which means that
Brick mark.
WA is going to bring it in on the brick.
Tessa Poot bringing the disc up to the brick. Oh no.
No,
She decides to pick up the disc and hand it off.
Rhiannon Code bringing it in.
What's she doing?
The
She's
brick mark. And New South Wales is opting to go for a zone here. It looks like...
And it's worked. One throw, one turn.
Well, that's almost a transition. So Karina Boyle got the disc.
And just puts it over the top of the defense.
Sophie Hardy.
First break of the game to New South Wales.
And it was an odd break, that one. WA brought it in from the brick. First throw was a turnover, which really shouldn't happen from a brick. Everyone's stagnant. You should have a dump.
It was an open player as well. There was no defense on it
whatsoever.
whatsoever.
And look at this, New South Wales throw to the open side and just threw it over the WA defender.
She just doesn't look at the disc for 1 second, and that's when the throw goes out.
That's it. She was marking a man, but looked away for that 1 second and just lost body position, and then you can't do that. So New South Wales gets the break. They were trading, gets the first break, upwind, 3-1. It's interesting. So WA really need to get another break. That point was that was a bit of a crazy point, that one. The wind did drop down, so there was no wind when they put the zone on, and then WA just one error. Error on the first throw, gave away 3/4 of the field.
I think New South Wales really shows the benefits of just picking up that disc quickly and get it moving. Before they set up, just get it moving.
Yeah.
Get the moment as a defender you lose your player. If you have to find them, you're not looking at the disc. And if you're looking at the disc, you're not looking at your player.
Yeah.
Just keep them guessing.
So New South Wales looking to consolidate this. Hopefully they can get another break, downwind break. That's what they're thinking. So they put a strong line, and
that's coming straight to us.
And into the commentary box. Oh, and it
takes out the camera.
It's almost taken out the camera. That is not the pull that New South Wales wanted. So instead of going full field and giving them the chance to get a break, it's come off the side of the field, taken out the camera, nearly taken out the commentators, and WA's got half the field.
Carpenter bringing it on the sideline, half the field to work with. Sideline called.
Puts it straight away. Emma.
She jumped for it.
She definitely jumped to get the disc. It's whether she landed first foot inside the field or first foot online.
They've called her in.
We're going to have a look at that on the replay. I think the position that we had was a good position to see the foot And again, they're flirting with the line, WA. They're very close. They need to get out off the line.
Nice around there.
Carpenter once again setting up in a great position.
But they're really trapped here. They're just clogging up their space.
Lim got the disc. Back to Turkleton. And up the line to Lim. She'd crammed it up the cram hole.
Seems to work. Just that sideline call, and they just got to work it up that 5 meter.
And that
Tram track.
really comes down to the pull. New South Wales got the break-up wind, and just if they had a good pull, even to the brick mark or to full field, that they would have had the full field to put the defence on. But because they were only working with half the field, and that beautiful up the line from Turkleton.
Just loses her defender. Just keeps on going.
Yeah, so New South Wales, bad pull, and they give away a break. So WA now in a good position to consolidate that and go back on serve.
I'm going to give a shout out to our IT director, Mr. Sean Johnson,
IT guru.
throwing out the sick replays. I don't know if he has his headphones on right now.
Is he listening to us or is
No.
He gave us a thumbs up. So for all you guys listening at home or watching at home, please share it around. It's good frisbee. We're watching the women's at the moment. I think there's another couple of men's games on in the afternoon. Yeah, give us a shout out. We're on YouTube. So we'll answer any comments or questions, or if you want us to give a shout out to a player, or you want a player to give you a wave or something, get in contact with us. We've got the commentary box on the sideline, and
We're trying to use the live chat as well to get it to the. I've got it up. There's nothing in the live chat.
oh, no comments as of yet. So give us a comment. Say g'day if you're watching. It's always good to get a little bit of crowd feedback. And give us some feedback on the commentary. If you want some more stats, if you want some KFC quick trivia, we can give you what you want. So WA got the disc. Looking to get a defence and consolidate their turn downwind.
This might be a good time for a zone right now. The wind's picking up a bit more. Something different. They've played. It's been 5 points now.
5 points a man.
It's
so far.
been established.
Yeah.
Might as well throw it out. And the last time New South Wales played a zone, they got to turn into a throw.
That's it. So good roller pull there by Carpenter for WA. Makes down to the brick mark. Rachel picks it up.
To Chung. And just as it's called, it's a zone look.
Oh, and New South Wales just breaks straight through. Not a great throw.
Oh, she threw it and touched it first.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so she threw that up and she went to catch it herself and caused the turnover.
Yeah.
So all of you guys watching at home, don't catch your own throws because it is a turnover. Someone else has to catch it or touch it before you touch it again.
The set call, so this might be a huck and zone point. It looks from WA.
Yeah, so WA got a 3-3-1, a traditional cup, just trying to stop New South Wales flow. But New South Wales, they're just working it quite well.
They're beating themselves right now. They're getting through the cup with ease, and then on the run, they're just a couple of slight errors.
Yeah, and you see it a lot with younger teams. So their handlers are getting it through because they've got good throwers, getting it to the receivers in the middle, but then the receivers, and a great put over the top.
Perfect shot.
Oh.
Perfect float.
And fantastic catch there and cut by Sarah Lipscomb for WA. So that makes it 3-3. But yeah, as we were saying, so the handlers are playing quite well, getting it through that cup, getting it to the poppers in the middle. And that's a timeout called from New South Wales. Yeah, they're getting it to the poppers, but then the poppers need to just fake that first throw and then look for either a handler streaming through or to get it out wide. New South Wales just throwing it away a bit too much on that zone offense. As you can see here, so WA just throws that fake and then boom.
But what the float here,
Such
the
a beautiful throw. That is just perfect by WA. And they've obviously practiced that a lot. It's quite windy over in Perth, I hear. So they obviously practice their deep throws in the wind quite often, which it gives them a good advantage at this tournament.
I don't think WA realise that it's a timeout call. They've got their line, or is that their leadership? There might be an extended leadership group.
I think what they've done is they've called their defensive line, and then they're just having a chat with their defensive line and going over it. So an interesting tactic. Normally you'd bring the whole team in and have a chat, but obviously they're happy with how they're tracking at the moment. 3-all.
Well, they've scored the last 2.
Yeah, so
they've brought it back on serve.
They've got the break back, so they're tracking quite well at the moment.
Yeah.
So, thanks for the comments. Got them up. It's good to know that there's actually people out there.
Some people actually watching this.
Yeah, good to know we're not just talking to ourselves. Although some of the players are they're trying to come in and try and jump on the live stream as well. So we'll get a few interviews probably at halftime with a couple of the players.
Maybe when they're not on the field.
Yes. No, on the field that'd be a bad time. We've got a good comment saying here, don't catch your own throws, but definitely catch your Ds, which is quite important because in the last game we had against South Australia against Queensland, I remember there was one point that was put up in the end zone, about 6 players touched it, bobbled, finally went down, landed in Queenslanders' hands for the score. But yeah, 3 South Australian players touched that and could have caught the D, could have banged it out of play, but just went for the hit, bobbled it. So make sure you catch your Ds. WA with the disc, pulling it into the wind. So New South Wales got the offensive line on at the moment.
The sun's come out. It's become almost too bright for Frisbee.
I've had to don the sunscreen and the hat as opposed to the jumper and the pair of pants here.
Oh, the touch?
Did she touch it? That's the question.
It doesn't matter. Either way, it's on the
Sarah,
sideline.
yes, she definitely touched it, so she's got to take it from the sideline. Now, her foot there, I'd call a travel. She was about a metre inbound.
It's another zone look from... It's a standard...
Yeah, 3-3-1.
3-3-1 again.
From WA. Now, New South Wales doesn't seem too fussed by this zone, especially downwind. They've got the throwers, so that's what they're doing.
Really working through it, but once again, the handlers look really good. And the cutters just rush it a bit.
A bit impatient there by New South Wales. They got it through, and all they had to do was just wait for the handlers to come through, but they threw it away. So,
but that's a great
D by Daniel Sutton there. Drops it to Laddo. Back to Molly. Back to Laddo. And a big swing around to Daniel Sutton. Great grab there.
That's O'Connor. So that end zone, they just keep on... We've seen this since 9 o'clock. They keep on putting it up into that end zone and just keeps on blading away from the receivers.
Yeah, it's quite tough with this crosswind to get the right amount of float on it that doesn't, career out the back of the end zone or drop dead is quite tricky, and a lot of the teams have been having trouble with it. So
New South Wales come out with a zone of their own, but this one looks, and it gets a turn straight away once again.
New South Wales not fussing around with it, just pops it over the top to Sarah Perkins, who
that's a second time it's a one-throw turn. So this New South Wales zone is really putting the pressure on this UWA offense.
Yeah, WA just doesn't look like they can handle it. They've got the long throws. They've been hucking it quite well, but against the zone they have been struggling. So I think for New South Wales to win, they should keep that zone going both ways, upwind and downwind.
And you can just see that on the replay. Just quick pick and just easy throw. Easy as you like. That's the offense you want to run. Just one throw, 2 meters.
Once you get the turn, it's just that opportunistic pop it over. It's not too difficult. There's no defender, so as long as you don't bobble it or mess up the throw, then you should score. So there's time gaps going for the other games here because the time slots have all sort of been a bit messed up because Victoria was playing New South Wales prior to this game and they ended up going about 20 minutes past time cap because as we said, New South Wales was down by 5 or down by 4 when time cap went, and then Victoria scored, so New South Wales was down by 5, and then New South Wales ended up winning the next 5 to win the game, so that took ages. So yeah, New South Wales was sort of thrown this game off. We're running about 25 minutes later than everyone else here, so you might hear some more hooters going, but it's not for our game. We are
hopefully there's a crowd coming around for the.
Yeah, it would be good. It should be a lunch break now for some of the other teams, so we should have a good crowd sitting on the sideline heckling and sort of encouraging the girls on this.
Sutton with the pull, and that's a nice pull. Giving some tail. And then look, and once again, it's another zone from New South Wales. Just like you said, that one took 2 throws, but that's.
Oh, and that wasn't a mistake. That was just Carpenter. Like it was in her hand, and she just dropped that one. New South Wales seem to be taking the 50-50 chances a little bit more than WA at the moment. So
just outran it. Would that have been?
Phoebe Cahill picks up the disc, sets it to Alicia Lim, sets it to Carpenter, back to Lim, out wide to Lipscomb, back to Carpenter, to Turkleson, swings it across.
Very nice swing there.
Nice swing to Monique.
Just running the offense.
Rhiannon Code, back to Turkleson. And back to Lim. Through the middle to Kira Webb. Oh, and looked at Carpenter, but really read well by the defense there. Just got the run through D on that.
That's Hardy there. Realised where the throw was going. Took a step in front. Sutton picks up now. Big under. And just puts it up in the wind, but the wind just holds it.
Yeah, that wasn't a great option. I think she was just trying to gain some ground on that. It's quite hard to put it up against the wind as it is. So that flick is a really, really difficult throw.
So Code now walking to the disc. She's been trying to get every second pass almost. Puts it at the top. Just out of reach.
Just out of reach for Monique Ziegler. And she is a weapon for the WA team. If they can get the disc to her, she's very fast and she's really tall. So
and a hand block.
Oh, and a huge hand block there by Emma Turkleson. Yeah, so WA, if they can use their talls, they will be a force to be reckoned with, but they're just struggling against the zone at the moment. It's working quite well against them.
You got Chung with the disc. Throws a big break around, but that shot up line just a bit not as accurate as she would have hoped.
Yeah, it was just a bit ambitious on that throw, I think.
She's walking with the timeout signal, so the moment she takes a step in, timeout, WA right in their end zone cone.
I don't know what I would like to hear. What's your thoughts on calling a timeout in that position? You've just got the turnover. You're coming back into play, and you call a timeout.
I'm okay with it on offense, as in if you're the offensive line, and it's your job to score, maybe you do need that time to settle down. But if you're the defensive line,
it's a dangerous call.
Because if on defense you burn one of your timeouts that you might need on offense, and if you don't score, it's just a wasted call there.
I suppose if they come in and they score this next one with no turns, then it's the best. It's the perfect timeout. But I'm always skeptical. I think timeouts should be saved for when you've just done something good. Like if you've just done a massive huck down the field, call the timeout so that you can reset. But I'm nervous. They've just brought it in the corner of their end zone line with no time. They've called a timeout, which means that the defense can set up anywhere they like, and then they have to start making the play from a static position. So it's going to be hard for WA to get this disc moving. If they do get an early swing,
if they get trapped,
exactly. If they get an early swing, then they've got the option. They can then play or start. But if New South Wales put a good zone on, or if they put the zone on, then it was
They're
a
in
terrible
trouble.
option for WA.
Max Halden really enjoys the throwing out the ambiguous statistic. I think it's around 80% of timeouts end up on you getting scored on.
It's definitely. I think it's higher than that. I think it's more like 92%. Going off what was it, Worlds? Unless you're in your end zone, or like in that red zone, then it's the opposite. Then you're going to score 70% of them. So we just got. Oh, sorry, we just got given a stat part from our statistician. It's actually 89% of turnovers are negative. Yeah, the other team scores against you. So probably not a good decision from WA, but we'll see how it pans out.
If they score, it's the best decision they've made. But as expected, a very tight zone set.
Yeah, so they've set up the zone, and it looks like a double team. They've just punted it long, and that's it. So that's where you go, well, I think they just wasted a timeout call. They should have probably punted it, and if they caught it down there, called a timeout. But
Parsons picks up, looking around, finds Sutton. Sutton looking for a big just gets it out of that grab. Hardy with a great grab. They're working up this line, and that big backhand just bounces off the fingertips.
I think the pressure D there from Alicia Lim. Oh, and WA
just huck it away.
So WA are very scared. They don't want it up that top of the field. They want to put the defense on away from their end zone. And they're hoping that this wind comes in, which it just has. It's just picked up a bit. So, yeah, WA under pressure at the moment, and New South Wales are looking a bit stronger.
Parsons once again walking with the disc. Better get it in. The force seems to have been flipped. It was flicked before. Sutton burns a girl up line, but just slightly overthrown, but saved. You just need a patience here. They've already got a timeout out of WA. They just need to punch this score in and make them pay.
Yeah, and the experience heads from New South Wales, and that's
there
the
it
score.
is.
There you go. So the experience from heads from New South Wales really working on that point. Daniel Sutton, Rachel Parsons, just taking control and working it up the field. So there's another one for the 82% or 89%.
Chalk it up.
We called it as soon as they called the timeout. It was a dangerous call. I don't think I would have done that myself, but this is an under-22s tournament, so they're all still learning. Now, we've got a little bit of trivia for you guys watching at home. KFC trivia, the ultimate chicken food for the end of tournament. Or Red Rooster.
Who do they text?
Really?
Where do they text the votes in? Or is that?
Send them in if you've got answers to it on the YouTube channel. But we'll give you an answer in a couple of minutes anyway. So have an argument with people and then we'll give you the answer. That's how it works for the cricket anyway. In what decade, so 50s, 60s or 70s, did Morrison sell the rights of his flying disc toy to the Whammo toy company?
Oh, that's a good one. A Frisbee one. A Frisbee trivia.
It was called at first the Flying Saucer, and then they changed its name to Frisbee, to the Frisbee disc after they heard about the origins of the game, obviously. But yeah, in what decade, 50s, 60s or 70s, did Morrison sell the rights of his flying disc to the Whammo toy company? Get your answers in. What are your thoughts, Victor?
I honestly wouldn't even know. I would think 50s.
Well, it is a plastic toy, obviously. Wemo Toy Company being around for years. I already know the answer, so
Well, you read the answer.
I read the answer. I came up with the question, so I can't give any speculation about it. But would be interested to hear your thoughts. Please don't Google it and then write the answer down. That's not in the spirit of the game. But if you chuck a comment on the YouTube, we'll have a look, and we'll read out the answer at the end of this point. So WA just turned it over.
New South Wales didn't come down with the
Wales-
zone, but it still generates a turn.
Yeah, New South Wales picking it up and jacking it early after that turn, and WA's got the disc back where they started.
So Code running with it now, trying to speed things along, try and catch defense out of position. Swings it out to Lim, and they're just really working this short game. This is the way I think they should be playing if they don't turn the disc.
And that's an unfortunate drop there. New South Wales picks it up, gets the disc moving, swings it out to Sarah Perkins, and Perkins quickly into the end zone
That's another break.
to Emma Hayes. So it looks like what they were just doing there, it wasn't a strict zone. It was sort of, they had a cup, but the cup was dropped back, quite loose marking players, and then as soon as they start throwing throws through, they're cramping in and creating cup. So New South Wales, quite a good setup there. And WA just struggling to deal with it.
You want to see if there's any comments?
We'll check if there's any comments on the YouTube thing. We'll see if anyone's got the answer correct, and we'll read out the answer to our fried chicken trivia. Question, once again, for those who didn't hear, was in what decade, 50s, 60s, or 70s, did were the rights to the frisbee flying
There's
disc
a couple
sold
of
to the Wemo
answers
company?
saying 70s.
Couple of answers saying 70s. Any answers with the correct year on there? They say it sounds like a 70s thing, and you'd all be incorrect. It was actually sold 1957, so in the 50s.
So I was correct.
So, plastic, I think the rights weren't sold as plastic, they were sold as metal, and then was turned aluminium, and then it was turned into plastic when plastic became cheaper after the war. So, there you go, everyone at home. The rights to the Wamo Frisbee were sold to Wamo in 1957. We'll have some more fried chicken trivia for you later on in the game.
So W really need this. They need to steady the ship here. They brought it back. They were down 3-1.
Yeah, New South Wales got the
Brought
early
it back
break.
to 3-all. Now New South Wales pushed ahead. Got it in the last 3 in a row now. Up 6-3. So they need to fight back. They really need to grind out this point.
Yeah, WA got the downwind on offense, obviously. They need to score this one, and then once they've scored this one, they're back on serve, and they need to sort of start looking at getting a break in the hopefully this half, but really just before the end of the game. So, but they need to score this one and stop the stem the flow of breaks.
Sutton pulls it around halfway and straight into a zone.
Chica picks up the disc and just punts it, and that's gone over the top.
It's the
We've
corner.
seen this every single game, and we've seen this too many times. That flick outside in is just catching the wind and just sailing way too far. It's really hard to throw those deep flicks in this game. So New South Wales got the disc. Molly's got the disc, bringing it in.
They're coming out horror. WA sticking gender matchup.
Molly to Holly.
Reeve with a dump. Floats a lot, but great pick up there by Sutton. And bullets it to a receiver who just can't hold on.
Ewan just couldn't hold on to that one. A little bit too much pepper on it.
So Kwa walking to the disc now. Great starting position here.
Throws that dump to Chica, and then looks in the end zone, pops it over the top, and once again, a little bit too much heat on it. Just goes out the back.
They've got it on the right side of the field though, on the opposition end zone. The wind's coming back now.
Yeah,
We had a bit of sun, now we got the wind coming back.
yeah, it's a little bit gusty here in Geelong. when the sun comes out, it's pleasant. Quite nice weather, about 20 degrees. When the sun disappears and the clouds come over, it's dropping down to about 16 and a little bit chilly. So the WA girls obviously not used to that,
the disc. Yeah.
coming from 37 degrees. But maybe that's why they're struggling a little bit. So New South Wales, Kira Webb putting it to
Lee.
Molly.
Oh, no. Valancourt to Sutton. To Boyle. Big around to Reeve.
Reeve just toes a line. That was really good by Reeve.
And a
Puts it up
nice
to
shot.
Nguyen.
Oh,
And
just out of reach of Nguyen.
yeah.
Very nice movement. Worked it all the way around. Then struck the up line on the...
Yeah, New South Wales looking really confident into the wind with these throws. They're working it really well. Just both teams struggling to convert. And that is a Callahan!
This wind is it's causing quite a lot of trouble for these handlers.
This wind is... Yeah, this WA is struggling very much with this wind. I thought they would be a bit stronger with the wind, knowing how windy it is over in Perth, but maybe they only practice long throws. They had their hucks, they just can't get any of these shorter throws off. So Holly Reeve reading that really well. Maxi Kwa, as you can see how she walks up to the disc, picks it up. There's no generation downfield. Looks for a dump. Looks for that dump early and just floats it up too much. And Holly Reeve, she thinks, beauty! She's never had a Callahan so easy in her life. Chock that one down. She can take her boots off. That's her game done. Best thing all game. And that really is demoralising for WA. To be on a WA team, you've got offence downwind.
2 shots into the end zone?
Two shots into the end zone. New South Wales work it all the way up. You turn it over again. You get another shot downwind. And to give away a Callahan...
Upwind break Callahan.
Extremely, extremely hard to build up your team spirit and to build up the happiness after that happens. And WA are quite quiet at the moment. So
what should they do right now, Callum? What do they do in this point so they don't lose half A3? If you're the coach.
If I was the coach, I would put their strongest line on, of all the strongest players. It's 7-3, so if New South Wales score, it's halftime anyway, and you're going to get a rest. Put your strongest team on and give it a go. So you'd be putting on people like Carpenter, Turkleson, Chika, Maxi Kwa, Sarah Lipscomb, and maybe Rhiannon Code or Kira Webb. And, yeah, you want a really strong handler line so that if you get the turn, you can actually work it up the field. Because the way they have it at the moment, they're going to struggle to throw it into this breeze. So Carpenter's got the disc
away.
And it's a zone.
Nice barrels through the cup there.
He just pushed him out of the way. And having said it, looking at the line that's on, it's pretty much close to what I called anyway. So JD obviously calling a strong handler line. And unfortunate there by Lim. She tried to put it up to Turkleson, but just a little bit out of reach there.
O'Connor walks to the disc.
Dumps it back, but just a terrible throw there. And WA's actually gained some ground there.
Maybe.
Carpenter with a disc to Lim.
Yeah. Lim to Code. And once again, they're just trapped on this sideline, but they've shown they can work it up in really tight spaces along this sideline.
They've done it twice already this game, yeah. So Liam stuck on the sideline, high stall count, puts it up, and I think she was out of bounds there, but
took a step.
It wasn't called, so Carpenter still got the disc. And just tried to give that 1 metre dishy to...
One dish too far.
Exactly, just tried to give that 1 metre dishy to Turkleson, and the cup was already crashed, and they just put a hand in there. So, but New South Wales tried to swing it, and on the first throw, that's a turnover. So,
wait, there may be a call.
There might be a foul called on the catch on that. There was a little bit of contact. Whether it was a foul or whether it affected it is up for discussion.
Which they're doing.
So, as you can see, both players acting out the play and having a good discussion. This is what Frisbee's about. It's always good to make a call, and then you can have a
Talk
chat.
about it.
You get a minute or 2 minutes to actually talk about it and figure out what exactly happened. So
Seems to be a contested
they've
call.
contested it and sent it back, which I think can often be a really good decision, rather than retracting a call or something like that, because you just get another chance to replay that point. Sarah Perkins got the disc.
Nice inside backhand there. And picked up
Up
nice by
lane.
Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz just saved that point, actually. Connor. Short
Welfare.
throw to Welfare.
Welfare to Lomatis. Maki just dropped her head a bit there, just over her hands.
Yeah, and with this win, that was that was coming in hot. They can be hard to hold on to when they're coming in that fast. WA up the line to Turkelson. Up the line again.
Unlucky
Unlucky
there by
there.
Code. There's Gill streaking and she shoots for
Sarah
him, but
Perkins.
it's that corner once again.
Sarah Perkins probably not looking for someone in the end zone. Probably not a great option, but having said that, it's now rolled out the disc. Now rolled out the side of the dead side, and it's going to be impossible for WA to actually get it out. You can't throw a hammer over the top. The wind's too heavy. To get that swing around, you're going to be throwing it into your end zone line, or you've got to cram it up the line. So it's going to be hard for them. They throw that swing
Nice
back
big
into
around.
the end zone, lose a meter.
They're stuck halfway into their end zone here, looking for... Get
Screams
another
of
run.
Callahan are going up from the
Oh,
sideline,
good
and
dig.
there's a turnover there. There is a call by the thrower, it looks like.
There's a lack of hand signals, which makes it quite difficult to figure out what the call is.
Yeah, some of the teams here at Under-22's national championships have actually been really good with the hand signals. Queensland have been extremely good. Obviously, trying to implement that, their coaches have been reinforcing that, and that's good because obviously at larger tournaments you can, not just the commentators but the people at home can see what's going on. But WA, New South Wales obviously haven't gone through that with their players as much, so we're still trying to figure out what's going on. There's a long discussion. There's a few experienced heads on the team, so they know the rules. Sarah Perkins obviously played Worlds under-23, so she will just be trying to get in that discussion and talk about what happens, what the call is, what are the options. And it's a turnover, so it's deemed
Lee,
to not affect the play.
Lee shoots the inside to Perkins, and that's half.
Talk about a bullet. She had a laser pointer on that, and it just went straight through the defender. Cannoned into Perko's guts, and she held on.
That's very good half. Very well executed by New South Wales.
Yes, strong half by New South Wales. Remember, it was 3-1. New South Wales was up. And there's just the replay here of when... So the disc was tapped in. Perkins just standing still. And
The defender
everyone
just caught watching the disc.
Everyone just people just parted. All the defenders just parted ways, and all of a sudden there was a gap. Just threw it straight through. So yeah, interesting half. It was 3-1. New South Wales got the first break, and then WA did good to come back. WA did really good to come back to 3-3, and now it's 8-3. So that's a bit demoralising. 5 scores in a row for New South Wales.
They've been in every point. Once again, we mentioned this a lot in most games, but both lines and both teams are always giving each other a shot on every point. Just who can capitalise on the opportunities given.
Yeah, there has been a lot of turnovers this tournament, as you'd expect for a sort of under-22s tournament. Younger players haven't played as much, possibly don't value the disc as much, or just don't make as valued decisions. So they just take a little bit more risky throws, which can be really good. We've seen some amazing plays that you just wouldn't see at a nationals level because they just take the risks, and it's been coming off. But there's also been high number of throwaways and really good Ds as well by the defensive players. So half time. Take a couple of minutes break. We'll have a scroll through the comments and see what everyone's saying, and we'll talk tactics again for the second half. And we'll be back with you in a minute. We have just had some fantastic luck here in the commentary box. Someone's ordered a pizza and then forgotten to pay for it, so we have snuck onto that. Free pizza. We'll be back to you in a minute. We're just going to stuff our faces. Shout out to Domino's for delivering pizza to us. Not the best pizza in the world that I've ever had. Not the worst pizza in the world. But it is free, so that gives it massive bonus points. WA girls just having a bit of a sit down and have a chat about, what they're thinking about the first half. They're a bit chill. They're a bit relaxed, which is good. Still positive. Still positive they can come back. It's going to be tough for them to win from this position. They need 6 points in a row, essentially. And we're coming close to time cap. But they can at least score a couple of breaks, which will lead them good into, the next half of their tournament. New South Wales, experience. They just went into a chat. They said, yep, we're doing good. Let's keep doing it. And then they all walked off and had a bit of a relax and had some lollies and stuff. So, two different approaches. New South Wales, very confident at this stage.
They're already ready. We've already got the 7 on the line. WA only just getting up off the ground.
We do have a bit of, we'll call it Domino's trivia here for you guys listening
Domino's
at home.
trivia.
Domino's fried chicken trivia. Just another Frisbee trivia. High school students in Maplewood, New Jersey, invented Ultimate Frisbee, which was a cross between football, soccer, and basketball, in 1960. What year? Initially, it was a joke. But they invented Ultimate Frisbee in 1960 something. Give us a year. Is it early? Is it late? This is something we should probably all know, really.
Well, you're a 1 in 10 chance, aren't you?
That's it. You're a 1 in 10 chance. Give us a guess. Chuck it on the YouTube comments. Free slice of pizza to anyone that gets it correct. You just have to come down to Warren Ponds, Deakin University Ultimate Frisbee Fields here to pick it up. So we'll keep it cold for you, or we'll keep it warm for you, depending on how far away you are. So in what year, 1960 something, did high school students from Maplewood College initially invent ultimate frisbee?
So this WA line's been ready for the last at least minute and a half. New South Wales just taking their time, talking it out with their coaches. And we got Parsons with a big pull, holding up nicely in the wind. And Code jogs over to it. They're moving it quite nicely at the moment. Code's trying to get every second almost, but once again, just a bit of panic.
Oh, Turkleson, she just
Overshoots the
She
player.
just held on to that disc a little bit long on the flick, and it just off shot, just went in the wrong direction. There was a kind of panic as soon as she let go of it. She knew she'd thrown a bad throw.
Just shoots a bit too strong there by Hardy on that break side, but New South Wales are really using the break side very well.
Yeah,
They get that swing, they get that second swing, hit that break side, and they're away to the races.
There's a clear difference between the two teams here. New South Wales just a lot more confident with the disc, a lot more confident. And WA just struggling a little bit.
Lim try to get out of that. Lots and lots of fakes, but unfortunately,
Once again, yeah, turnover on the end zone line, and that's tough.
that's fine. Instantaneous pick on a stall, nothing. Pick call. Disc tapped in now. And Valenco just pushes it in for an easy score there.
And that's a little bit of the experience there from New South Wales. They don't panic. It's on the end zone line. They said, yep, no worries, pick call. Okay, we'll just work with it and then just dump it in. It's just that really short pass into the end zone line that everyone should have. A little high release flick or a little high release backhand.
We've got 50 watching and not a single guess.
So, no guesses. Anyway, have a bit of an argument at home. We'll give you the answer. So, in 1967, some university boys from Maplewood College came up with the idea of Frisbee and wrote the rules down for it. So, there you go. All you people at home that play Ultimate Frisbee, 1967. We've been around since. Long time.
Really?
It's almost
really?
No, it's past 50 years now, isn't it?
Almost 50 years.
Almost 50 years. Well, 1 year, next year. Next year is the 50th anniversary of Ultimate Frisbee. I don't know what we're doing for it. Surely there'll be a thing.
We'll probably have a nationals tournament.
Yeah, there'll probably be a
We
thing.
might have a uni games for it.
Bit of nationals, bit of this, bit of that. Probably a party. Someone will no doubt will
Social event.
organise a social event. Not a party, sorry. We don't condone partying. Only social event and dancing. Drinking some lemonade and Gatorade for electrolytes. Back at the game here. So New South Wales just scored after half. Scored another upwinder. So WA are really struggling. They're wallowing almost, I would say. Haven't scored a point since the start of the game. It was 3-1. They brought it back to 3-3, and since then, New South Wales has scored 6 in a row. So I think WA's message or WA's plan at the moment is just to score at least another one before the end of the game, just to get them back on track for whoever they play next. Yeah, so WA up against South Australia next. A little bit of an easier competition against, as opposed to New South Wales, which had seeded top. So, yeah, for WA, they're probably thinking about the rest of the tournament now. They're probably thinking about the next game already, about getting their structures right, getting the dumps right, getting your timing for your cuts out of the vertical stack and the horror stack that they're practicing right, and just try and score 1 or 2 more in this point.
New South Wales with a really poach in that lane, trying to force him into that error, into exactly that error.
Yeah,
Cahill just turfs it, trying to look for that quick break. We got Sutton.
yeah. The New
To
South
Hayes.
Wales coaches have been calling plays really well this game. WA's been trying to put on a horror and a few different looks, and New South Wales just setting it
And
up
that's a
perfectly.
great grab.
Beautiful grab there.
And a big around, but probably should have taken the easier option there. Probably should have taken 2 throws to reach there. But they've got it in the right corner for them on defense.
Yep, so New South Wales not fussed at the moment.
And they're playing, it almost looks like a 2-3-2 here. They've got 2 behind the disc and 2 right in front.
I think you've called that correct. Yeah, it'll be a 2-3-2, one person poaching in the lane. But the 2 deeps, they're not sitting very deep at all. They've almost come down.
They're
as
inside the
wings
brick.
anyway.
They're inside the brick mark there.
So they've really recognised that this wind is too hard to throw against, and they're just bunching down and not giving WA any space at all to cut into. So for WA to actually move down the field, they've really got to be threading the needles and some pretty risky passes.
You've got a nice inside there. Just gets that gap. And they really got to get it off this side. And that's one way to do it. There's a very nice swing around over to Kwa. And Kwa with the inside.
And
She-
it is a Callahan.
That's another Callahan.
Second Callahan of the game. Daniel Sutton there, just reading the play. And I didn't want to call the Callahan being a commentator, but you could almost see it coming from that first throw. As soon as it got onto that sideline, the zone got set up really well. They managed to get that first swing backwards and around, and then they had no option. You can't swing it 5 meters backwards and around and then not have a continuation. As you can see here,
There's no flow
just-
there on that break side. She's forced to look inside.
and
It just
it's a tough throw there into the wind. So really, really good zone set up by New South Wales. They're playing very, very aggressively. Very aggressively. And
game's being called.
they've called game, but time cap hasn't gone yet for this game. So that's interesting.
They must have been getting better information than us.
I have a feeling they might have, the coaches might have started their own timer. So it's meant to be 70 minutes until game time. But because this game ran late, it looks like they've just run a little bit of a shorter game. New South Wales won't be too upset about that. They won pretty comfortably, and they've just played a game previously, so that'll give them a little bit of a chance to rest their legs going into lunch. And I don't think WA will be too upset about that either. It's the kind of game that you kind of want to forget about.
Heading into the next game against South Australia.
Yeah, it'll give them a
There-
chance to sort of
there's good-
rest.
They've figured out against a top team what they need to work on, and hopefully they can execute that, figure it out over that lunch break, and come out stronger. The more games you play at such tournaments, the better you'll get.